we could talk about the limit as x approaches 1 of, let's call this f of x. And before we do that, let's talk about left and right-sided limits. So if we're looking at this function, right, as x gets close to 1 from the left side, you're really just following the height of the graph and seeing what it approaches. So in this one, you would get 2. Because as x gets closer to 1, the height of the function gets closer to 2. Don't worry about that open circle there. We're really just concerned about what it gets closer to. From the right side, as x gets closer to 1, the height of your function gets closer to -1. So really the open and closed circles don't matter all that much unless you were asking for what is f of 1. Now f of 1 is where the closed circle is, right? So since that's closed, you don't want to use this open circle, you just want to use the closed circle, so you get -1. Now let's go back to the limit question. So in order for the limit to exist, right, in order for the limit to exist, these two must be equal, but in this case they are not, so the limit does not exist. All right, so I think that's a little review for quiz 1. Also on quiz 1, they have the tables. So tables are a little tricky, but we could go over a couple. Like let's say we have, right, let's use these grid. And if you have x and f of x, right, and let's just say we go 2.75, 2.9, 2.99, and 2.999. Let's do a similar thing, 4.0, oops, I don't want 4, I want 3. So let's say we have 4 point, I did the same thing. Okay, erase that. Let's do 3.001, 3.01, 3.1. Let's have that as our values. And then let's say we have -5.7, -5.85, -5.985, -5.999, and over here we have, oh man, what am I doing? And then over here, let's do -6, -5.997, and -5.97. So when you're looking at this problem, okay, they ask, is the table appropriate? I mean, is the table approximating the limit as x approaches, what are we approaching? 3 for the function f of x. And in this situation, right, it's a little confusing because you're thinking that maybe this number right here needs to be a decimal. But again, if it's not, you could see that on both directions, from the left side and the right side, it still is written the correct way, where you're getting very, very close to the number 3. So this is appropriate, or approximating, this is approximating the limit. Okay, so that was the table question. All right. And let's see another table, because I think the tables are a little confusing. So let's say you have x f of x, and we do like a negative 0.1, negative 0.1, negative 0.001, and then you go to 0. And then on this side you have 0.001, 0.01, and 0.1. And then let's do something like this, like a 2.63, 2.77, 2.89, undefined, so I'm going to put a big U, undefined. And then let's do this one, 2.88, 2.75, and 2.6. Now here they're asking what's the limit as x approaches 0 of our function f of x. So again, on the table it might be a little confusing, but all you're really looking at is here x from the left and the right side are approaching 0. So we could use this. And don't really worry so much about this part. This is like that open circle that you would have, because at 0 would be undefined. But if you think about it, these values from the left and right are approaching a given value. Now, be careful on the Khan Academy, because they're going to give you an answer like maybe like a 2.75 or even maybe 3, but because you're not really sure, and there is some gaps there, but it does look like this is getting closer to a 2.9, because the numbers are getting closer and closer to 2.9. So that would be your limit as x approaches 0. All right. Okay, and I think that should be pretty good for review of quiz 1 on Khan Academy. So also look at their videos, are probably much better than mine, and just go from there. Okay, thank you.